Hello everyone, and welcome to my Days of Lies official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Stephanie expressed her displeasure with Alex's intrusive behavior. Aid was saved by Marlena. Aid was reunited with his family, although he had trouble remembering them. Lani recovered from an overdose and was sent to prison. Whitley was slapped by Marlena. Wendy was informed about Haley by Tripp. Kristen and Brady agreed to share custody. Trask and Lee shared a drink. Nicole found out Sloane was pregnant. Stefan consented to have 2 weddings. The ceremony was interrupted by Leo. Sloane stole the lab findings that indicated Eric was Nicole's father. Chad went over to the Salem Inn to wish Theo a safe flight back to South Africa, only to find out that the trip had been cancelled due to Lani's disappearance. "I just called Claire. She said she wishes she could be here to help," Theo grumbled. "And I'm sure you wish you had her here to lean on. But you've got me all right," Chad replied. Chad began lamenting about the sole disadvantage of living in one of Salem's finest apartment complexes, having Alex as a neighbor, when Theo asked for a distraction. "But don't get me wrong, I'm not afraid of him. Stephanie has made a decision on who she wants to be with. I just don't know if this jerk will ever get the message," Chad said. Alex wore a freshly laundered robe over to Chad and Stephanie's place, but only the latter was there. Alex calmly handed the robe to Stephanie before boldly walking into the apartment, sarcastically mumbling that it was a bummer that Chad wasn't there. "What's up with all the nosy behavior lately? Are you truly unaware of how obnoxious you are, or are you attempting to be a jerk?" Stephanie objected. "I thought I was just being neighborly," Alex explained. "But now I see that I really crossed the line," Alex said. "Maybe because I'm jealous," Alex concluded. "What you're doing has to stop, otherwise we'll be ex-friends as well as ex-lovers," Stephanie declared. Alex promised Stephanie that he would respect her boundaries in the future. "Chad and I have been together for a while, and things between you and me have been basically fine, so why do you think this is coming up now?" Stephanie was perplexed. "Perhaps because I've now seen you 2 move in together, take that next big step, and it's hammering home to me that I'll never have what you guys have," Alex reasoned. "You're going to meet someone who's perfect for you one of these days," Stephanie said. "I don't know about all that, but the only thing that's important to me right now is having your friendship," Alex insisted, prompting Stephanie to offer a hug just as Chad entered the room. Chad grabbed Alex away from Stephanie and began yelling. "It's not what you think," Stephanie suggested. "What I think is that he can't take no for an answer, so he forced himself on you," Chad yelled. Stephanie assisted Alex in clarifying the situation, leaving Chad humiliated over his overreaction. "I'm rooting for you guys," Alex declared before kissing Stephanie and Chad goodbye and hurrying away. After learning that Lani was missing, Eli returned to Salem and dashed over to the Price condominium to see if Marlena had any fresh information to give. "Nothing," Marlena moaned. Marlena worried something awful had happened, and Ellie suspected foul play as well, but hoped Lani was still wearing an ankle monitor and would thus be simple to find. While waiting for an ambulance, U.S. Marshal Sam Gerard discovered a syringe, but Rafe and Jada both refused to believe Lani had just overdosed. Lani mumbled, "Daddy," throughout the debate. Marlena was still in the hospital with Kayla when John called from Los Angeles to say Aid was alive but being held captive somewhere, and that Whitley was the captor. Whitley hauled a hefty thing into the living room of the King apartment, leaving Abe perplexed. "I know it's summertime, but you can never be too warm, right?" Whitley shrugged as he talked to Abe. Whitley took 3 plush cats and sat them on Abe's lap. "How I found all of you that terrible, terrible day," whispered Whitley. "What exactly are you talking about?" Abe replied. Whitley looked at a cell phone, disregarding Abe's question, and noticed Marlena had called earlier. "Everything all right?" Whitley shrugged as Abe inquired, forcing Whitley to set aside the cell phone. Despite signs that Ada was already sedated, Whitley pounced with a syringe. Did I really need that? Abe objected. I just don't want you to feel any pain, Whitley explained. Abe strained to stay awake, still intrigued by the hefty object Whitley had been tinkering with earlier, a propane-powered space heater. I keep thinking about that day I left you all alone, Whitley admitted. For the longest time, that's all I could think about, how careless I was, how I failed you, and it weighed so heavily on me, I didn't think I could bear it. But now I think God has given me a second chance, Whitley added, to make sure that you're never alone, to go where we'll always be together, for all eternity. Whitley finished before releasing the valve on the propane tank, prompting Abe to comment on a weird new odor in the flat. Kayla was taken aback when Lani arrived at the hospital for treatment of an apparent overdose. Her pulse is weak, her breathing is very shallow, her body temperature is extremely low, Kayla said. This was discovered at the scene. Perhaps you can figure out what was in it and provide her with an antidote. Jada chimed in, handing Kayla a syringe. Might be our only hope, Kayla confessed. Kayla eventually returned with an update as Jada and Rafe waited at the nurse's station. That syringe was filled with a sedative, a very powerful one, so we administered another drug to reverse the effects, Kayla explained. Kayla considered it strange that Rafe and Jada had stayed for the update. You two haven't checked your messages, have you? Kayla recognized this before informing Jada and Rafe of John and Steve's discovery of Abe's absence. Marlena dashed over to the King apartment, only to discover that the door was unlocked. Charlemagne, what exactly are you doing here? Whitley sputtered, mistaking Marlena for a body and soul persona. Whitley threatened Marlena with a sharp umbrella tip. This air is highly toxic, Marlena provided advice. You think I don't know that? Whitley responded. Marlena attempted to persuade Whitley. You came to me for help ages ago, and I didn't help you. I failed you, so please give me another chance to help you now, Marlena pleaded. What exactly are you talking about? Whitley replied. You were in so much pain because your husband had died, and you felt responsible, Marlena explained. He died alone. They all died alone. And this is my chance to fix it, Whitley said. It was a terrible, tragic accident, Marlena said emphatically. Whitley softened and began to hand Marlena the umbrella after recalling their therapy sessions, but Jada came in with a revolver pulled, and Rafe arrived seconds later. Who exactly are all these people? Abe was perplexed. Rafe warned Jada that it wasn't safe to fire the gun, and Whitley agreed before threatening to use a lighter, but Marlena refused to abandon a former patient in need of assistance. Whitley began praying as he prepared to use a lighter, but Abe grabbed the nurse's hands just then, diffusing the situation. Kayla quickly joined Ely and Paulina at the hospital after discovering that Lani was being treated there. Lani was able to reveal that Ada was still alive, and Kayla informed Paulina and Eli that the story wasn't a drug-induced fiction. Paulina and Kayla quickly left so Eli could spend time alone with Lani. You just couldn't wait for backup, huh? Lani was teasingly challenged by Eli. Theo arrived soon after, having received a mysterious phone call from Kayla earlier, and Paulina began to tell the good news, until Marlena appeared with Abe, who was in a wheelchair. Both Theo and Paulina were too pleased to notice that Abe didn't appear to recognize them. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.